Z93, today's classic rock. Good morning. Welcome to the program. It is your morning rush with Scotty Perry. Happy Monday, and more importantly, happy New Year's Eve. 2018. Where did you go? How did you go by that quickly? Can the world please slow down? I don't want to get too old too quick. Today on the show, we're going to talk about how retail is going to capitalize on everybody who doesn't go out for New Year's Eve this year. Plus, we'll also talk about a dummy who found out the hard way that Ferraris do not float, and a whole bunch more. But first, here's Alien Ant Farm. Z93, today's classic rock. You know, as you get older, you start to realize that having fun, cool plans on New Year's Eve is kind of overrated. I realized this years ago when I went to see the Black Crowes on New Year's Eve down in the city. Great idea. What a nightmare of a time it ended up being. Anyway, brands and retailers have realized that having these plans is overrated too. So as a larger effort, they're going to be capitalizing this year on the homebody economy, or the millennials who prefer to stay home and spend money on self-care items rather than go out. So brands and services like Netflix and Domino's Pizza are launching promotional campaigns on Instagram and Twitter explicitly targeting that audience. You know, in my house, we do stay home. But, you know, like most people, we have that at-home party with just the family. And it's always been a good time. I'm not spending any extra money on anything other than chips and beer. All right, next we're checking in with HudsonValleyWeather.com. We'll also see how that ride to work is moving along. Some Foo Fighters, Scorpions, and George Thorogood on Z93. Z93, today's classic rock. Good morning. It is your morning rush with Scotty Perry. And some guys tried to rob a store the other day, a tool store, war hardware store, whatever you want to call it. They tried stealing about $1,600 worth of nail guns. They got to their car, and that's when they were surrounded by 6 people who were shopping inside the store, all with guns drawn. That must have been really friendly to see. They managed to shoot out the guy's tires, and the stuff was recovered. So how's that for gun safety? All right, here's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Z93, today's classic rock. Now here's some good news. According to a new study, people who drank moderate amounts of alcohol or coffee lived longer than those who did not. The study also found that people who were overweight in their 70s also lived longer than the underweight folks. So in your face, that's it. I'm going to be a fat drunk the rest of my life. All right, coming up, we're going to check in with HudsonValleyWeather.com. We'll also see how that ride to work is moving along. Some Evanescence, ZZ Top, and Van Halen on Z93. Z93, today's classic rock. Happy New Year's Eve. Good morning. It is your morning rush with Scotty Perry. And a guy in Florida found out the hard way that Ferraris do not float. He drove his into the Palm Beach Inlet the other day. He made it out of the car and wasn't harmed, but the Ferrari had to be floated up and then to a local park for recovery. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Here's Pearl Jam. Z93, today's classic rock. Want to say congratulations to the University of New Mexico. They actually get it. They understand the global change on the legalization of marijuana, and they actually added a class to their curriculum based on the communication and marijuana. Those students will learn how to understand why marijuana matters and the role it plays in curriculum. That's it, right? Z93, today's classic rock, and I want to say a big congratulations to the University of New Mexico because they get it. They understand the global change on the legalization of marijuana and how it's shifting, and they actually added a class to their curriculum based on communication and marijuana. The students are going to learn how to understand why marijuana matters and the role it plays in the media. The response has been huge so far, and they are jokingly calling it the Gateway class for now. Pretty funny, right? Thank God they got a sense of humor. All right, next we're checking in with HudsonValleyWeather.com. We'll also see how that ride to work is moving along. Some AC/DC, Green Day, and Bon Jovi on Z93. Z93, today's classic rock. So a police department was trying to run a sting on Facebook. I guess somebody reached out to the victim via his Facebook account trying to score some flower buds. That's what the cool kids call pot these days. However, the dude wasn't a drug dealer and he was aware of the scam that was going on. So he decided to play along with it. He went to meet the decoy in the park, but he was just selling a bag of real flowers from like a grocery store. He made it seem like he was selling pot though to the guy because they were being ignorant and he wanted to play along. Before he hands it off to the cops, he lets the cop know that he realizes it's a sting and that the guy in the car is a cop, even though the guy's trying to play it off. After the handoff, he gets back to his car and he's surrounded and taken into custody. And you can check out the video now by heading to my blog, Z93HV.com. The keyword is Scotty. All right, next we're checking in with HudsonValleyWeather.com. Some Guns N' Roses, Tom Petty, and in 7 minutes, it's Queen. Z93. Z93, today's classic rock, Guns N' Roses, Live and Let Die. And that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out, especially since this is, the last show of the year, as they say. Where did 2018 go? I said it at the beginning. I'm going to say it again now. Boy, did that go by fast. Started off in afternoons. Here I am now in the mornings. Thank you all for the support, and thank you all so much for listening. Gary C's up next at 10 a.m. Tigman takes over at 2 p.m. I will see you all again back here Wednesday morning. That's right, I get a day off. So, Happy New Year, and until then, you stay classy, Hudson Valley.